Hey, what's up guys? It's Gothalion and welcome back to Borderlands, the Handsome Collection. Over the weekend, there was a bit of news that the lead designer and basically the father of Borderlands, Matt Armstrong, has left Gearbox to go on to new adventures. He said he has nothing but love for Gearbox, which, you know, anybody departing a company probably wouldn't speak ill of the company they were with previously. But this is a continuing trend of creators and fathers of Borderlands. There have been a lot of Gearbox staffers leaving the company, and it kind of leads you to wonder why. What is going on at Gearbox? Where does the problem lie here? You know, I have been worried about Gearbox for a while. You know, I started to notice the trickle of developers taking place, you know, mid into last year, and I myself am pretty worried about the franchise's future. And, you know, some people will argue that, you know, fresh hands on it will give it some new life and make it a better game, but let's take a look at a game called Borderlands, the pre-sequel, before we make that assumption. I know that I'm not the only person who dislikes the pre-sequel. I know a lot of people liked the pre-sequel a good bit, but the general consensus from the community is that the pre-sequel was the weakest of the games as far as gameplay goes and as far as the loot went. So it really makes me wonder how too many fresh hands on the next Borderlands game will make the next Borderlands game feel, especially without Matthew Armstrong, who, like I said, basically created the franchise. I mean, I know that it was him who had a large part in getting the art style switched over from the ultra-realistic art style that Borderlands originally had. I actually talked to Matt Armstrong at PAX Prime 2014, and, you know, he said, hey, I had my hands on literally every weapon concept inside of Borderlands 1 and 2. He went on to say, you know, kind of candidly that he did not have anything to do with the Seraph weapons that were inside of the DLCs, and as we know, the Seraph weapons, for the most part, are generally uninspired, and it really makes me worried, man, because I loved Borderlands 1, and I loved Borderlands 2, and the Borderlands games that Matt Armstrong and the bulk of the Gearbox guys that have left did not have their hands on weren't great Borderlands experiences. Does that mean that I'm discounting Borderlands 3 completely? Fuck no, I'm still gonna give it a try. I love the loot and shoot genre, and Borderlands is basically the father of that. So, you know, I'm not gonna turn my back on the series, but it definitely, as a fan of the series, makes me a little bit worried. And I wanna know if it's making you guys a little bit worried. You know, how are you feeling about the franchise? Were you even aware who Matt Armstrong was? And if not, maybe do a little bit of research on him. He's a top guy, and he was a really cool dude. Very, very down to earth. Very, very passionate about Borderlands when I spoke to him. And it's a passion that was clearly not feigned. You know, you can usually tell it when people are trying to just put on their PR face, and I kind of feel like Mr. Armstrong put on his PR face on the Twitter the other day. With Gearbox, and, you know, I've spoken to some other ex-Gearbox employees, and there seems to be, you know, one particular individual that is causing a lot of the issues over at Gearbox. But, you know, we don't need to talk about that right now. Video is not about that, but it is about the future of Borderlands. Should we be worried? I think we should be a little bit cautious about the future of the game, and not expect too much from Borderlands 3 until we see it, because we expected a lot from the pre-sequel, and Gearbox pretty much showed us a part in the pre-sequel that was fun, and, you know, we played it at PAX and it was super fun, but it was pretty much the only well-balanced combat part of the game. I will say that the Claptrap DLC inside the pre-sequel was a step in the right direction. It was definitely fun. It had good game flow, but at the end of the day, it just felt like it was trying to be Borderlands 2 with slow double jumps is what the pre-sequel comes down to. I don't hate the game, I don't love it, you know, because it just felt like it was trying to be, it's trying to be Borderlands 2. And you can't try to be Borderlands 2. You gotta try to be your own thing, you know. So, will be interesting to see how Borderlands 3 turns out in the future, guys. Let me know what you think. Don't forget, to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all back inside of Borderlands. One way or another, I'll be here. I'll let you know how I feel. I will always be honest. And I'll see you guys later.